You don't wait for the fear to leave before you take the uncomfortable, scary action. How can I help you? Once in a while, instead of opening the doors to one of our coaching programs, we'll simply open the doors and ask you, what do you need from us? So if you head on over to heatherchauvin.com/takebackcontrol, you can fill out this interest form. One, it gives me great feedback on who you are, what your problems are, so that I can be of service to you on the podcast and other free content that I create. But two, if you are seeking mentorship and you're looking for a coach or you're looking for guidance, I can let you know. If I personally feel like I can be of service to you, I will reach out. And if I can't and I know somebody who can, I'll point you in the right direction. I am here on a mission to help as many women as possible grow and feel alive and in alignment. Because when you are on fire, when your mindset is on par, when you feel healthy and strong, you are becoming the role model that we need for the next generation. So simply head on over to heatherchauvin.com/takebackcontrol. And I look forward to reading your intake form and seeing how I can be of service moving forward. Hey ladies, I'm back, and today is Thursday, and I want to remind you that tomorrow, Friday, at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am hosting the Motherhood, Business, and Impact webinar. I'm going to be talking about time and energy. I'm going to show you my calendar. I'm going to show you the process of how I set up my week every single week so that I'm always on par, but I'm also taking into consideration how I want to feel, what's going on that week, what's going on with the kids, what's going on in my business, and creating sustainability. So at the core of everything that I teach is all about sustainability, but feeling successful in every aspect of your life. Now, this is not woo-woo magic. It is a practice. It is a lifestyle. It's not a one-size-fits-all, and it is not a magic pill. So I'm hoping to give tremendous value. It's jam-packed with value. And for those of you that attend live, I will be answering your questions in real time if you have questions for me. So head on over to momisincontrol.com/business and register for the free masterclass on motherhood, business, and impact. And if you register, you will also get the replay if you can't make it live. So today I wanted to talk about fear, as always, and the theme in the last few months has been, or not a few months, but the last few weeks I've been talking about motherhood and business, but also helping you realize that you're worthy of having what you want and desire, and the only person that's getting in your way is you. It doesn't matter if somebody else is telling you that you can't do something. It's truly you stepping into the woman that you want to become. So I remember when I started my business and I was investing in this mastermind. And the mastermind at the time was not a high value in the moment, it was a stretch for me, which was $200 a month. Now, in my world, that is not a lot of money. My masterminds are a lot more than that. But in that moment, that was the stretch and capacity that I could hold because of where I was and my mindset and my beliefs and how much I was willing to invest in myself. And not even from a financial standpoint, but the time that I was investing in myself, I was still very restrictive and felt tremendous guilt and allowed fear and guilt to run the show in my life. So I remember having this conversation with the woman, and I've been following her for a while. And I said, okay, I'm ready. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not afraid to go for it in my business. And, fear no longer runs my life. And she was like, what? What do you mean? You don't experience fear anymore? And I was like, I'm not afraid anymore. Let's do this. She's like, okay. So we started, and I never understood why she was baffled. And I had a conversation with her later, and I said, why did you react that way? And she goes, Heather, fear never goes away. So what I was actually doing was waiting. And so this is what happened. I was waiting to be ready. And I waited to be ready to make this investment in myself. And do you want to know what happened? I jumped into the group and I was like, this is not a right fit. And I knew it wasn't a right fit because the women that were in the group were at the same level that I was, or a little bit lower, and they weren't willing to stretch and to grow. So we were all too incredibly comfortable. We were all comfortable. And what I didn't realize at the time was, in order to expand and become the next version of myself, I had to invest in myself. And when I say invest, I don't just mean financially. I had to make the energetic and emotional and spiritual connection or commitment to myself that I was willing to show up at the next level of my life. So it was like, holy shit, now I actually have to do what I say I'm going to do, because if I don't take the action, I'm going to fail. And I could talk about failure. That's a whole other podcast. So I was in this group and I was like, this is not expanding me. I'm not feeling it. Here I am coaching the people in the group like they're colleagues of mine, like we're equals. I want to be stretched. I want to be pushed. I want to puke. So I got out of that group. I'm like, this is just not a good fit for me. And that lesson like really hit home for me when this woman was like, oh, so you feel comfortable making this investment now? Like you're no longer scared? I was like, yeah. So when I actually waited until I was no longer afraid, it was detrimental to my growth because I was too comfortable. So oftentimes when people come into my world, whether it's at a mastery level or a soul elite level, depending on where they are in their life and their needs and their business, we figure that out through, an intro conversation. They expand and they grow and they go, holy shit. So in order to become the next version of you, you have to get scared. You have to be afraid. You have to be uncomfortable. And when I say get scared and be afraid, I don't mean you have to be terrified. I mean, you have to be stretched outside your comfort zone. So you don't wait for fear and then take action. And that is a misconception that I see a lot of people get into. But when you're playing with the big leagues, when you're playing with the high performers, we're always fucking terrified. Always. Always scared. And oftentimes we realize we're scared, but we're not allowing fear to run the show. And so we're like, oh my gosh, here we go. Okay, take the leap. Oh my gosh, here we go. And, there's times where you're taking leaps and then you're resting. But I noticed that having this mental resiliency, this mental capacity to say, I'm scared, I'm nervous, but I'm also incredibly excited. And my soul and my intuition are like, yes, 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 yes. It's phenomenal. It is beautiful. It's so exhilarating and so exciting. Because when you do things that make you uncomfortable, when your soul says yes, your soul's like, wouldn't it be nice if you just climb that mountain? And I have something coming up, ladies, and you'll hear about it shortly. Wouldn't it be exciting if you, traveled for a month or two? Wouldn't it be exciting if you just sold everything and lived as a minimalist? What would happen if you actually just quit your job? What would happen if you said, I need some extra time? What would happen if you stood up for yourself and spoke up and, put some boundaries in place? What would happen if you decided to live on your own terms and make a big, bold statement? So today I'm encouraging you to do something even though you're scared. Take that big, bold action, because when you wait until you're comfortable, one, that moment may never come. And two, if that moment comes, guess what's going to happen? It's not going to stretch you. So take the leap now and just know it's an uncomfortable feeling. You will survive. How can I help you? Once in a while, instead of opening the doors to one of our coaching programs, we'll simply open the doors and ask you, what do you need from us? So if you head on over to heatherchauvin.com/takebackcontrol, you can fill out this interest form. One, it gives me great feedback on who you are, what your problems are, so that I can be of service to you on the podcast and other free content that I create. But two, If you are seeking mentorship and you're looking for a coach or you're looking for guidance, I can let you know. If I personally feel like I can be of service to you, I will reach out. And if I can't and I know somebody who can, I'll point you in the right direction. I am here on a mission to help as many women as possible grow and feel alive and in alignment. Because when you are on fire, when your mindset is on par, when you feel healthy and strong, you are becoming the role model that we need for the next generation. So simply head on over to heatherchauvet.com/takebackcontrol. And I look forward to reading your intake form and seeing how I can be of service moving forward.